What's going on, market makers? Guys, my full video, my new content will be out on Monday, but I want to make a quick update video for you, not leave you hanging, because non-farm payrolls came out today. We knew it was going to move the market, came in stronger than expected, even though it's a cooked number, doesn't matter, the market reacts. Unemployment went down from 4.2 to 4.1, and the market is reacting. Let's check out the fear gauge real quick. Look at the fear gauge on CNN. This is 27 now, right? So you get below 25, you're in extreme fear. Guys, I think it's very important that everybody understands you need to understand or have some ability to understand what's happening in the economic space. Because if you don't, if you're watching people that don't understand the macro, I think you're going to get whipsawed all over the place. What effect did this have on the 10-year yield? Well, it shot up 4.74, rounded up to 4.75, 5%'s that cycle high. So the market in general, and this is my opinion here, is not going to crash based on good economic news. That is not going to happen. What it will do is it will sell because it's overpriced, but it's not going to crash. So this isn't the big crash. Could it be the start of the correction? I think we're going to find that out next week. But my current thesis is the same one that we've been talking about, looking for the low, and then it's going to rebound for a lower high or a higher high. Then it will roll over. Then you will get the correction. That's the current thesis. I think it's going to play out. We look at the DXY, guys. DXY, we have Fibonacci confluence at 109. We just got above that barely, getting some selling pressure. Next strong resistance here is at the 1618 and the 786 at 111.5. 111.8. So that's where you are on the DXY, again, putting pressure on the markets. You got to remember, even though all of this news is cooked numbers, it's good for the economy from the Wall Street perspective, because how are they going to sell it? How is Tom Lee going to come out there and shill it? They're already starting to do it right now in the business news. This is U.S. exceptionalism. Where else are you going to go to invest? This is good. You want a strong dollar. You want a strong 10-year. It shows good growth. As long as inflation comes in next week at expectations, I think next week is going to be a potential rebound week. Here's our RSP. This is the equal weighted S&P 500, and you're getting the selling pressure, right? We got up to target at 184, got just above it, sold back off. Let's look where this could retrace to. We pull our fib, get our fib, pull it up, and here we are, guys, 618, 170, 187. Haven't even come down to the 618 from this last leg. And again, I think the way this thing will complete is it's going to find its bottom, and then it's going to come back up for probably a lower high, since it is the equal weight, and this is the most concentrated market in stock market history. But you'll come back up for a lower high, then the rollover, then the correction. Does it have to do that? Could it just fall through? Of course it could. But let's look at how everything's behaving. Let's look at our lunar cycle update. Monday the 13th is the new full moon. I think that's going to be a bottom. I think next week has the potential to be green. We're going to zoom in on the S&P futures here to look at this. And of course, the FOMC on the 29th is when Powell speaks. Right now, the market cut out all of the rate cut potential until October, okay? Until October. But again, my thesis is the market will not collapse on good economic news, even though it's cooked. That's not going to collapse. It will sell. Here's S&P on the daily. Hit our target, got our short, fell 300 plus points. And now what do you have? You have a corrective move here. And guys, when you look at this again, where could this fall to? Let's pull our fib from our W up to our all-time high. You're bouncing off the 50% at 5,856. Look, in a 30-year study, the S&P tends to return to the 618. 57.79. Okay, could it come down some more to 57.79? It could. And if it does, let's look at the structures that we have here providing support. You have the 618. You have this topping structure right here from August. You're in the heart of these candles as well. You have these fractal lows. So again, I think this is really strong support, even if it does continue to wick down. Let's look at some indicators here on the daily. We have a strong trend forming in the daily on the ADX showing selling pressure. MFI turned back down. But look at the market breadth. This is one of our market maker custom indicators. 35% of the companies are back above They're 20, okay, 35%. Now that sounds low. It is low, but this is a rally that's really concentrated. But just a couple weeks ago, at the end of December, you're below 10%. That's buying. They've been buying the market. Big money's been buying the market. Selling pressure. I think this is a shakeout move. Okay. I think that's what it is a shakeout move for more upside. Let's look at this on a 5-hour time frame zoomed in. When I see this on the 5-hour, I see a Wyckoff range, our fractal corridor here that's formed, and everybody else that you're probably watching. What are they all talking about? The head and shoulders. This is going to collapse and bring the big correction. Could it? Again, it could. Not a fortune teller. I'm just telling you what I think is happening. You're not going to get a correction starting based on good economic news. You get selling pressure because the market's overpriced, okay? But when I look at this move, again, from a technical analysis standpoint, I'm going to count this here with waves. I'm looking at a 5-wave correction looking for a low. This is what I'm looking at right here. Come down to our wave 3, go up to 4, and this is the last move. So this could be the low where it is right now. Now, at the end of the day, in power hour, you tend to see that more pressure will increase again. So let's just draw this, assuming it comes down to 58.8 or 57.80. I don't think it's going to drop there today, but it's going to come somewhere down here. We'll just stick it, actually. I'll just put it on the end of the candle where it is. I think you're getting a 5-wave corrective move. The next move is back up, guys. And I'm still looking at those same targets, right? The same targets, 6,200, 6,250. In that range. And again, it's going to depend if we come up for a lower high or if we make a higher high. We have to get the bottom. We have to get the rebound. I'll be pulling fresh targets for you on Monday's video. Okay, so be sure to subscribe. Be sure to like if you like this content as well. When we go ahead and move over here to the NQ, I mean, look, same thing. Hit our target. We had the 1618, beautiful hit, 1,000-point retracement, got the drop. Market rallied back up, 200% expansion. You're doing the same exact count to the downside currently over here as well. We look at our count. You have your wave 1, 2, 3, come down, 4. It's a 5-wave corrective move. No, this is not Elliott wave, so don't bother telling me I'm not doing Elliott wave correctly. This is geometric trading, and this is key concepts of 3 and 5-wave moves. I think you're looking for your bottom. The next move, going to try to hold, and I think next week could potentially be a green rebound week. We also have earnings starting to come in. But I'm going to show you what's interesting on Bitcoin, okay? As you guys know here on Bitcoin 3-day chart, 3 peaks, domed house. What's the domed house? It's a George Lindsay pattern. And this, of course, is nothing more than a 5-wave pattern, which is nothing more than the head and shoulders. And guess what? You printed it, right? You look at this on a 3-day chart, you've already printed it. You have your left shoulder, you have a head, you have a right shoulder. Why isn't it collapsing? Why isn't it coming down? When this does come down for the retracement, guys, it's going to be a strong retracement looking for key support. You look at this from a fractal perspective, 73K, right? That was your fractal corridor here, your flagging pattern before the breakout. That's what you're going to be looking at towards the retracement. Again, because when the S&P corrects 10+%, you're going to look at a 3 beta on Bitcoin, but I don't think the top is in. We look at Bitcoin here on the daily time frame, still trading in the same pattern. If the market's crashing, the highest beta, most speculative assets will be crashing, okay? Bitcoin's still sitting here at support. Here, of course, is our lunar cycle change on Monday, and of course, the FOMC over here on the 29th, okay? So Bitcoin targets remaining the same. My Bitcoin targets have not changed. You got a slightly new low right here, but you're looking at 113 up here towards the trend line, up to here at 119. Okay, that's still my range I'm looking at here. And of course, you still have support from a candle perspective, market structure perspective down to 85. If the S&P does flush out another 100 points or so before it rebounds, you could see Bitcoin pull down towards this target. And of course, that's going to affect your alts. But again, this is a market barometer. Okay, this is a liquidity barometer. The S&P does not top before Bitcoin. Look at 2021. Q1 2022 for a big corrective sell-off move. What happened? Bitcoin, NASDAQ, top November 21. S&P ran to what, January 4th? And then it corrected. S&P fell 28%. What did Bitcoin do? Fell 77%, okay? Speculative tech tops before the broader market. Again, selling pressure in the broader market. How's this affecting Solana? Look at Solana. You still have your low. Here's your higher low still. Obviously, altcoins will be affected differently depending on the coin. 175 is a key support level you want to hold here. If we pull our fib from a fractal low to a fractal high, that's a 618, 175. Where could Solana come down to if it loses a 618? You're at 151. But again, you're just still in the same range, okay? You have a double top that formed here. You're trying to build a W reversal pattern as well, competing patterns, competing narratives, depending which side of the market you were on. Look at EOS, my favorite AI coin, came down to 84 cents, still holding up relatively well, 94 cents, 92 cents. Again, lower highs here, but you're building the same type of pattern depending how you want to look at the markets, looking for a rebound. And then I have EOS coming up. We'll go over these targets again on Monday, guys. What about the DAX? DAX had that nice pump up to 20,621. It's in the kill box. Look at that down thrust, the shakeout candle you just had. But what's the DAX going to do? It's going to follow the U.S. markets, okay? It's going to follow the U.S. markets. And I don't think the DAX will break down substantially, despite the fact Germany's in a recession, despite the fact that the European economies are in shambles, because the markets aren't connected to the economy. So much of this is speculation, psychology, and euphoria. Just understand those key concepts. It'll help you a lot in the market. So you're holding 20,390 right now, came down, just track the U.S. markets. Quick update on the mega cap tech. Tesla's still holding the lows off its recent rise, so we'll look for a rebound. Tesla's at 394. Again, got to make it into next week. Look at NVIDIA. Had to spike up, but what are you doing? You're just in the same trading range you've been in since November. Okay, you haven't gone anywhere. You've gone down on a shakeout, pivot low, and then of course you came up for a pivot high. Pivot low, down thrust in Wyckoff terminology, up thrust in Wyckoff terminology. You're back in the heart of where you've been. So again, no major breakdown yet. Look at Google. You have a a higher low scenario going up. You have lower highs on top. So you're going to be building some type of triangle or sideways price action here on Google, holding at 194. Again, this is where all the money is. Mega cap tech. All the money's here. Until you see these break down, you're not going to have a severe breakdown in the market. Looking at Amazon, sideways price action, nice little double top, played out beautifully. Looking at Microsoft, trading in an upwards channel. So again, no major breakdowns. What about Meta? Meta's pumping up. Meta's at 623. It's up 2% right now. Okay, so again, I expect next week to be green, and I think you're going to see this in the markets. Again, looking for that low today, maybe at the end of the day, if the selling pressure at the end of the day. What about rotten apple? Worm in the apple. Again, markets don't typically do this and then do this, okay? Markets move in threes. They fall to key support. Look at your accumulation range here, your fractal corridor, your Wyckoff range, and then they rebound back up. Okay, you see this over and over again in marketplaces, and you'll see this. I can express it here with an ABC for you. So here's your A, here's your B. Apple's going to come up for a lower high or a higher high, okay? We'll go into all of this on Monday. Hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. Be sure to like and subscribe. You guys want to join our Discord? Check out marketmakers.trade. Give me a follow on X at Market Canary. Talk to you guys Monday.